Hello and welcome to the special holiday version of Dad Got This. And this video is brought to you by our friends at Monument Grills. And they have a very special holiday treat just for you guys, where you guys can win yourself some stuff. Today we're gonna be preparing a holiday tradition here around the Dad Got This household, a giant roast pork belly, Cebuano style, which is a Filipino I can't speak because I'm so excited about this pork belly. It is a Filipino preparation, kind of roast pig style, but you just get the belly, which is the best part. You get crisp, crackling skin, succulent meat with a lemongrass, garlic, herby. Oh my God. Stay tuned right after this little thing where I go, yeah, you know the thing. Let's do that. Let's get into the part that you guys probably gonna care about the most. Two lucky viewers are gonna have the opportunity to win something. One is gonna win a $250 gift card to Monument Grills, and the other is gonna win a desktop griddle, a 560000 desktop griddle to be exact. How are you gonna win these things? First thing you're gonna do is make sure you're subscribed to this channel, which I know you are. I know you are, because I can tell I'm like Santa. I can see if you're sleeping and you're awake. Now that'd be creepy. No, but I can tell if you're subscribed. So, first thing, make sure you're subscribed here. Second thing, go over to @Monument Grills. I will have a little link down below so you can do this very easily. Go over there, subscribe to them. Then, like this video and leave a comment. Once you have done all that, you are entered into the giveaway. That is going to give you the chance at the $250 gift card or the desktop griddle. Why are they doing this? Because they want you to know about their Black Friday sale that kicks off on November 21st. They're having a huge sale, big giant discounts. But you're gonna also be able to get an extra discount by using my code, Dad Got This, on their website for an additional 10% off. Pretty cool, right? All of the information about when the contest ends and everything about the contest is gonna be in the description below, so head down there. Now, we have to get a giant pork belly that I had to bribe my butcher to keep whole for me. Let's go get that. What we have here is an entire pork belly, because they have a rotisserie that goes across this entire grill. And I want to have a pork belly that goes across almost this entire grill. So that's what we're going to do. So let's open this sucker up. Doctor. Now, where my wife is from in the Philippines is a little island called Cebu. And in the island of Cebu, they make the absolute best roast pigs. It is a known fact. You can look it up. It's not disputed. Maybe some other places in the Philippines would argue with them, but they're wrong. So, I got to try that when I went to the Philippines, and it is amazing. We're gonna try to make this in the style of Cebu roast pig. Now, to say that you can make a dish a million different ways in the Filipino cooking is an understatement. You can make a dish a billion different ways in Filipino cooking. Everyone has their own way. This is my spin on it. It's not traditional, so please don't beat me up in the comments if I do something different than the way your Filipino ancestors or your Filipino mom or dad or uncle does it. This is just what I have available here to me and my little spin on it. Disclaimer given. First step is we're gonna dry this bad boy off a little bit. We're gonna prep this up with spices and all sorts of stuff, wrap it up and let it sit in the fridge overnight so it really penetrates and lets all that goodness get in there. When you get your pork belly, make sure that it's got the skin still on it, because you are gonna roast this until it gets hard and crispy. Not too hard to break a tooth, but just that perfect crisp, so it crunches in your mouth. Now we're gonna move on to a couple of the steps that I've learned to help get that super crispy skin. Step one is a spa day for your pork. But first, we're gonna use a tip that I found on Mad Scientist Barbecue. He said he found it on another channel, so I'd have to credit them, but I can't credit them, so I'm crediting Jeremy from Mad Scientist Barbecue. Take whatever spice you're gonna use, take a glove, and now I can handle that spice, and I don't have to worry about washing the spice jar later because it got all messy, and I don't have to waste gloves, keep pulling off a glove because I now got a dirty hand and a clean hand. I can just handle this thing, even though I've touched this and I touched this. It's an awesome tip. And we're gonna rub some coarse salt right on here like this. And it just kind of cleans the skin, and it helps give you like a better, cleaner, crispier skin. And don't worry, Salt's really not going to penetrate the skin. And then get as much of it off as you can. And then we'll just wipe off the excess. Our last skin trick is to get one of these little jobbers. They are a meat tenderizer. They have a bunch of little pointy things and a little spring-loaded part right here. They're going to put a bunch of micro holes in the skin. It just makes the skin crispier. I don't know the science of it. It just works. You're not trying to puncture all the way through the skin to the meat. You're just trying to barely puncture the skin. This will become evident for another part and helpful in another part coming up later. Skin is pretty tough, so you don't have to worry about really going through it unless you're like Hulk power to go through it, but you know, give it a good jab. And that's it. Our skin is prepped and ready to go. We're gonna start working on the meat side. We're gonna prep some veggies and such. Well, herbs, veggies, I'm not sure exactly what we call them. We gotta prep some stuff to go in here. Red onion, garlic, ginger, and lemongrass. This is the most important one. Lemongrass is like a big stalk of grass. They grow in these big bunches. I grow them in my garden. I grow them on the side of my house. I grow them in pots on my back. Fantastic flavor, very unique flavor. It's very important for this. I would say track it down. You can get them in Asian markets. You can get them in some Latin markets will have them. Very important to grab if you're gonna try to make this recipe. Hard to substitute. Nothing fancy needed here, just a simple dice. These are gonna go on the inside there, the meat, flavor, everything up. This is a pretty big old belly, so we'll do up this whole onion. There we go, nice amount of onion. I like garlic, so this could take a while. Into the bowl with our onion. For ginger, grab yourself a spoon. Scrape away. It'll get in all those little nooks and crannies. Now, lemongrass has a big stalky part and grassy parts. We're gonna take a mallet. All the way down to the grassy part. It's gonna release the oils. And we're gonna just lay this across the meat. At this point, we are gonna start dealing with the meat side. The first thing we are gonna do is we're gonna score it. This is gonna allow our seasonings and our spices to penetrate our meat. Not too deep, just a light little scoring, kind of every 3/4 inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch deep, 1/2 inch deep, just a light score. And then we're gonna go across it. We want to create some crevices, little nooks and crannies that we can work seasoning into. That looks pretty good to me. The first thing we're gonna do, we wanna get a little bit of salt in here. This is a big cut of meat, so it can take some salt. In here is what I call go. It is 50-50 granulated onion and granulated garlic. I use it on everything. It is not traditional to put it on here. I like it because it adds an extra hint of garlic and onion flavor. They taste different than regular garlic and onion. It's just an extra kick I like to add. You're gonna be like, but you already have so much garlic and so much onion. Yeah, but who's gonna argue with flavor? Now we have our mixture. All of our ginger, our onion, our garlic. Ooh, I love the garlic. We love the garlic, folks, don't we? The garlic. Everyone loves the garlic. And then we start getting into those lovely red onions that we diced up. And then here's where we start using our cracks and our crevices. We are going to just start pushing seasoning into this pork. Now, this is another probably considered non-traditional item and step. This is a Filipino white vinegar. This is the brand I like to use, Datu Puti. We are gonna slather this in white vinegar so it hits on the meat side and so that the skin is sitting in a white vinegar overnight. It dries out the skin a little bit, but it soaks into the meat. It adds a wonderful flavor and it enhances the crispiness of your skin. I don't know why it does that, but it does and it works. Here comes one of the difficult parts. This thing is gigantic. How am I going to fit this in my refrigerator? What I have figured out is the best way for me to do it is I wrap this in tin foil and then it goes in a kitchen trash bag, a clean kitchen trash bag. So it's completely engulfed in tin foil and then the only thing I have that can hold it is a trash bag. I think it's sanitary enough because it's sanitary inside the tin foil and then the trash bag's just there in case it leaks. These guys are gonna go in here for now. They're gonna get reorganized when we actually get this on the rotisserie tomorrow. Normally what they're gonna do is they're gonna roll along the side like this, but I'm gonna have to probably chop them in half so that I can go the other way. Now I'm gonna admit, this is about 4 times bigger than anything I have ever cooked. So we'll see how this goes. I think we are ready to attempt a wrap. I've also made an ungodly mess. I'm gonna have to like power wash this area. That went better than expected. This is gonna go sit in my fridge till tomorrow morning. And then we will see if this rotisserie can handle it. This is heavy, like really heavy. I hope it can handle it. See you tomorrow. Welcome to day 2, where you're gonna hear some banging. There are some roofers working on my neighbor's roof. Pay no attention to the banging. But put on a little apron. I don't wanna get my lovely Clark Griswold jersey messy. Now the goal of this is going to be to get this around the skewer and tied off nicely. We're gonna rearrange these guys long ways. Now we gotta get that off of the grill. We can take that one off the end and we'll back that one all the way down. This thing is massive. When I mean massive, I don't know if this rotisserie is going to be able to turn this. I may end up trimming off portions of this just to get the weight down. This is 13 pounds of pork. That's not something I thought I'd ever say. All right, we're gonna roll it and we'll just stick the skewer through it. And then we can hack if needed. The best way I have found to do this is to lay yourself out some string. And I'm gonna use a lot of string because I want this thing tightly wound. Hopefully that'll do it. Ideally, you would have laid your strings down, had this in a separate location, and then put your pork belly over your strings. Now, if you wanna see how to put this whole rotisserie thing together, I did a separate video for that. That'll be linked in the description below. Shows you how to unbox it, put the whole thing together. I looked to see how much weight it could turn. It wasn't in the manual. We don't know. Okay, we have pork belly. And then what you're gonna wanna do, make sure you got lemongrass all the way down through the whole thing. And the goal is to have a nice very tight package. We're going to try to start it at one end. I believe there is a specific kind of knot that you should use to do this. I don't know that knot. So I just tie a knot. Like a regular knot. That's what I tie. So I tie it tight, I turn it, I go like that. And we're just gonna do that till we get to the end. And we will have a massive pork log. Try to get yourself your best quality butcher's twine you can. Mine's not the best. I wish I had a stronger one that I could really get some strength behind. Because I've had this one just rips on me if I pull too hard. You just kind of need to make sure that it's gonna stay closed. I'm not too upset with that. Now we are gonna go through, cut off your excess, and that is one beautiful pork roll. We are going to dry this skin. We are ready for our last stage of pork prep. And this is a little bit of soy sauce. Once again, we are going with a Filipino brand. This is Datu Puti. And we're just gonna put a little bit of soy sauce on this. It's really mainly just gonna give the skin like this beautiful brown color. This is an extra step that I didn't used to do, but it was suggested by a viewer. And started doing it, and I like it. So we're just gonna kind of rub this in here. You don't need a lot. It's not like we're marinating it in this. And I know I just got done saying moisture is the enemy, but this is a different kind of moisture. This is not gonna affect our crispiness. Probably will help with it because it's got a little bit of sugar in there. It is time to finally assemble Voltron. Right down the middle. We should be able to get that bad boy in there like that. We're gonna wanna try to keep it centered, and then our little forks are gonna wanna go, jam them in there. You want them in there. They are what's keeping everything from flipping and flopping and being a problem. Let's get access to our thumb screw. You really wanna tighten this down and get that on there nice and tight. I think I'm pretty well centered. We can always adjust this as needed. Ooh, that is in there good. A final screw, and there you go. Pork belly, or workout. 1, 2, getting swole. Is that what the kids say these days? I don't know. Not one of the kids. All right, that's just gonna hang out there for a little while we move on and we prep the grill. First thing we'll do is we will plug in our rotisserie. We've got our motor on the side here. Everything is set up. The goal for this cook is gonna be able to cook it at 350 degrees for 2 to 4 hours. First thing we're gonna need to do is we're gonna have to set this grill up to get it to a 350 degree temp. This one has an awesome temperature sensor on it, so it's gonna be easy to do. We'll turn on our burners. We're gonna set all the burners on, but we're gonna kinda finagle with them till we get to 350. And I wanna add a little bit of that charcoal flavor, because traditionally, these are roasted over an open charcoal grill. Now, I don't have any kind of charcoal grill that would be big enough to do this, but I do have an idea of a trick that we can use to try and mimic some charcoal flavor on this grill. We're gonna use some tin foil and some charcoal wood pellets. We'll make a pouch. We'll stick the wood pellets in there, poke a couple holes on it, stick it on one of the burners, and that should, hopefully, throw some charcoal smoke in there. We'll see how it goes. I've never done it. I do have this little doohickey where you can put the pellets in and you stick it on. I just thought it's too small. Start at about a little bit less than half. We'll give it a little bit of time to preheat and see where we end up. Let's make our little pellet pouch. Got a nice big handful of pellets in there. And all I'm gonna do is, that's it. I just made a pouch. I'll poke a couple holes in here and we'll throw this on a burner. We'll see how it goes. What the heck? Let's fill this little sucker and see if it does anything too. I had to switch to a Christmas t-shirt. It is getting hot out here, especially next to this grill. Okay, I've been playing around with the burners. I've got number 2 and 5 on high, and I've got number 1 and 6 kinda in the medium range. We're at about 360 right now. I think once I get the meat on there, I can adjust it and I'll be able to dial in that perfect 350. The way this works is you just slot A into here. We tighten our thumb screw without burning ourselves. I'm going to have to trim some meat off, I believe. I just don't like the bow on that rod. We're gonna take a couple inches off. Just as a point of reference, that is the normal size roast I would do for my family. The rod is still a little bowed, but not quite as bad. I think we'll be able to get away with this. All right, this cook is rocking and rolling. We're about 30 minutes in. I'm getting my temperatures kind of dialed in, just messing things back and forth. As you can see, the little smoke tube trick is working really well. I got the pellets lit. I'm getting some good smoke coming out of that tube. I've got it over the burners that have no heat on them. We're gonna let it get smoke for this first hour here, and then I'm not worried about the smoke. I just want some smoke in the beginning. The first hour of when a meat is cooking is when it's gonna absorb the most smoke flavor. As long as we get some good smoke flavor in this first hour, I'm happy. Once that's done, I'm not worried if it's even doing anything with the smoke. Doing pretty well. I'm very happy with the way this is going. We're a little over 3 hours in and the skin is about at the perfect color. So we're at the crisp up the skin portion where we're gonna kick up the heat a little bit. I've got the outside burners all on the high heat setting. I've got the lid open, which should have some evaporation start happening on the skin. We're gonna try and get it to crisp up. I don't know if I'm gonna close the lid. We'll see how that goes. It's either gonna be lid open, lid closed, whatever I can do to kind of start getting this skin to crisp without burning it. Okay, I got frustrated and I turned the heat on and closed the lid and left it too long. And now the pork is bubbly and that's not what I wanted. It'll probably still taste fine, but it's not the look I was going for. So I'm a little frustrated. It's not perfect, but it's not horrible. I've got some nice looking skin here, like that view right at that angle. Very hot. If I showed that angle, I'm not terribly unproud of that angle. That looks pretty good. This is the finished pork shoulder off the grill. It looks okay. It's got a couple bubbly parts that I'm not too happy with, a couple little darker parts that I'm not too happy with. But all in all, not too bad. The real question is gonna be, how's it taste? But to do that, we have to wait. We're gonna have to let this rest so that all the juices can kind of distribute themselves back in the meat and not end up on our cutting board. So I'm gonna tent this off in some tin foil or aluminum foil or whatever kind of foil you wanna call it, and let this rest here for at least 30 minutes, but preferably at least an hour, which will be just a perfect time for dinner. I'll see you in about an hour. I have waited absolutely as long as my family will let me. I present to you Cebuano style roast pork belly. Oh, she's meaty. Here we go. That's not bad. I'll take one pinwheel off of here. This rested for maybe 30 minutes, but I mean, that looks beautiful. It's still very hot. This is what everybody's looking for, the skin. That is a little piece of heaven right there, buddy. All right, these are the best crispy bits. I'm gonna save that for my wife because she'll kill me if I don't. That piece is amazing. I need to take all these strings off. This little chunk of meat. This was right in the center, right where all those spices and everything were. Oh my flavors are on point though. Nailed my flavors. My skin could be a tad bit crispier in some spots, but this is nothing to be upset with. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that, but I got crispy skin. I don't blame the grill. I blame me. I got impatient, kicked that heat up at the end. I think if I had let it go low and slow and just really let it do its thing, it would have eventually gotten there with that glass skin, but ooh, man, that's delicious. The herbs and the flavors that go in this are amazing. Now, what I have over here is called a sasawan. It is onion, tomato, garlic, soy sauce, and that white vinegar that we used earlier. It is basically a Filipino dipping sauce. You can dip anything in it, but when you dip this in it, just give me a minute. Hold on, I gotta get somebody. This is my #1 fan, and this happens to be probably her absolute favorite thing in the world.
My God. Yeah, so good. This is amazing.
Yeah?
Try it.
You like it?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. This is our holiday tradition, this Cebuano roast pork belly. What is your holiday tradition? Let me know in the comments. What do you cook for the holidays? Is it something on the grill? Would you cook it on your Denali 605 from Monument Grills like I do? Don't forget to check the description below for all the details for how you can win the $250 gift card from Monument Grills or that tabletop griddle. Do that. And always remember, do you know how pigs tell secret messages? With invisible oink. Dad may tell very bad jokes, but Dad doesn't do outros. So that's it. Bye. If you enjoyed that video, why not throw Dad a good old like and subscribe and do the notification thing, or leave me a comment about what your favorite part of this video was. That would really help Dad out, and you can go check out one of these other videos. I'm sure they're fantastic. I mean, I made them, so I'm pretty sure they're fantastic. All right, yeah, do that stuff.